Moving abroad to escape the collapsing Western world is actually pretty easy, but for many people it comes with a lot of uncertainty. In this video, I'll explain what you need to be able to move to another country. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it for free, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. The more interactivity I get, the better, and the more videos I can provide you with. Okay, let's get started. While it is certainly possible to just quit your job, pack your bags and hop on the first flight to whatever sunny destination catches your eye, I would advise you to rethink such an approach. Half-assed plans usually lead to a half-assed life. Before you leave the Western world behind and find a new home, there are 3 requirements that I suggest you should meet. 1. Do sufficient research. 2. Visit the country or countries you're interested in. And 3. Be self-employed with the ability to earn money wherever you are, or be rich enough to never have to work again. Only the last one is absolutely vital. The other 2 are strongly recommended, but can be skipped if you're in a rush or confident in your choice. However, doing so can lead to problems down the road. Let's start with the soft requirements, those that you could technically do without, but which are highly recommended nonetheless. 1. Do sufficient research. First off, you need to take the time to properly research the country you want to move to. On this channel, on my website escapingthewest.net, or in my book, available on Amazon, link in the description, you can find extensive guides to many countries, so you'll already know a great deal more than the average person. You have to be aware of big factors such as the climate, the economic situation and the language, but also of the little quirks. What kind of food you can expect to eat on a regular basis, what the people are like, how foreigners are viewed and treated, and on and on. Every factor that is even remotely important for your happiness should be considered. A prepared person is usually a happy one. If you do not take the time to prepare and do proper, thorough research, you run the risk of being confronted with nasty surprises down the line. In most cases, they'd probably be minor nuisances, but those do tend to stack up, and if you're steadily getting more and more annoyed with small things, you might even be forced to move to another country, where the same thing might happen again. This goes further than just doing a casual Google search on the country you're interested in. I'd strongly suggest you find some expat groups on forums or social media and really delve into their posts. See what they are talking about, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Are there common issues that keep popping up that might be a deal breaker for you? Don't be afraid to ask questions about anything you're unsure about. Whatever your potential problem might be, there are bound to be other people with similar issues who can help you out and clarify things. Even if they are very niche or taboo, there are places on the internet where you can find information about them. However, don't take this too far. Don't get too bogged down in doing too much research into every potential detail of the countries you're interested in. It could prevent you from taking any action. This is called paralysis by analysis and could lead you to forever doubting everything and never taking any decision and improving your life. Establish what is important for you, do sufficient research on those topics, learn what is needed to be learned, and then make a decision. Once you've done sufficient research, the next soft requirement is taking a trip to the country you've selected based on everything you've learned about it. And I don't mean the stay at a resort kind of trip. Treat this as a test, not as a vacation. Go there for at least a few weeks, a few months is better, and do everything you would do if you were to live there. Rent an apartment, do your own grocery shopping, get your laundry cleaned, and so on. Get a true taste of what your life would be like if you were to live here. Pay attention to details. How's the internet? If you run an online consulting or teaching business, having a frequently slow internet connection could be detrimental to your business and income, and thus to your happiness. Can you deal with the climate? Is it too hot, too cold, too humid? Do you enjoy the amount of sunshine and rain? Is the city you want to live in very crowded and/or polluted? Is this a big deal to you? Or do you take this as an inevitable side effect of living in a metropolis like Singapore or Shanghai? How do people treat you? Can you communicate with them at an acceptable level in English or any other language you might speak? Do you have access to healthy food? Or at the very least, food you can see yourself enjoying and eating for the rest of your life? Is there a gym or other outlets for physical activities you enjoy? Is renewing your visa easily done? If you need to travel for many hours back and forth every month just to stay in the country, this could get on your nerves very fast. Can you easily get dates? How do these dates go? Can you see yourself having a successful romantic and sexual life here? If you have children, are there facilities for them within reach? Anything you can think of, anything that is important in your life, pay attention to it, experience how it would be if you were to live there permanently. Don't take anything for granted. Try it out, because on paper a country might look perfect for you, but reality could be a disappointment. You might have done sufficient research into important factors such as the amount of sunshine, hotness of the girls, cost of living, and so on. And upon arrival, to your delight, you find that everything you researched is exactly how you imagined it. But it could turn out the city you moved to is very dusty, and this causes you to cough frequently. You're fine for a few weeks, and you focus on the good parts, which seem great. But can you imagine yourself living there for years on end, coughing your way through life? Probably not. And this is something you wouldn't have known if you hadn't taken the time and effort to visit the country beforehand. This is why hands-on experience with a country can be vital if you are seriously considering moving there. Hopping on a plane and winging it is nothing short of a gamble. There's a 50-50 chance you might like it or hate it, regardless of what your initial research has revealed. Another option here could be to just find a few countries you like, ideally within close proximity to each other, and start by living in one of them. If you really like it, you found a place to live, great. If you don't, you can just move on to the next one on the list, and so on until you found a new home. This trial and error approach can work for people without a lot of baggage, such as physical gold, a girlfriend, or children, who have a location-independent income, but might not be the best solution for you if you're not comfortable moving from place to place. Doing sufficient research in advance and booking a preliminary visit to the country you're interested in aren't hard requirements. You could manage without them as long as the final, absolutely vital requirement is met. You need to be self-employed and have an income that is not tied to your location. You need to be able to keep making money wherever you are in the world, or have sufficient funds to support yourself for the rest of your life. This means you have the mobility and freedom to go wherever you please, whenever you want, within reason. Unless you have a massive amount of cash which can last you the rest of your life, or several streams of sufficient passive income, you'll need to keep earning money. If you're older, that might be in the form of a pension. Now, relying on a pension is a very risky way to live, because you essentially hope that a, usually Western, government will keep providing you with other people's money, and that this system will not collapse or get severely impeded during your lifetime. Which seems very unlikely at this point, as we've discussed in an earlier video. It is definitely not something I would recommend, but if you do want to rely on your Western pension wherever you move to, you're free to take that risk. As the West collapses, such a notion becomes ever more shaky and unreliable, but it's up to you. In addition, do not hope to find a decent job in your country of destination, because that rarely works out. It could, but you're gambling on something very unlikely to occur. And if you're going to a country with a lower cost of living, you'll most likely only be able to find jobs which pay less than you would make in your old country, causing you frustration and lower self-esteem, not to mention a possible decrease in lifestyle. And a job isn't something you want in any case. Having your own physical company, ideally located in a non-Western country, which can be managed from a distance, is an option. But even better are digital companies and sources of online income, or diversified passive income such as dividends, royalties from books or courses, or rental income from real estate. Any consistent source of self-employed online income that you fully control and that isn't relying on the goodwill of a government or another single entity will do to start with. But you have to make sure you have this in place before you depart. There are plenty of instances of people who took a chance and moved to another country, lived off their savings, and hoped to make it work. It almost never does. It might work out for you. You might find your dream job in the country you moved to, but odds are not of a favor, so it's better to be prepared and get your financial life in order before packing up and moving halfway across the world. Location independent, self-employed, international income is a major topic by itself, and I'll dedicate an entire video to it in the future. I'll put the link in the description once it's up. There we go. Hope you learned something from this video. Ideally, how easy it actually is to escape the West and move to another country. All you really need is some research and the means to support yourself wherever you go. It's that simple. And if I can do it, so can you. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this topic. Did you move to another country? How was your experience? Do you want to move abroad but are afraid or uncertain how to do it? Let me know in the comments below. See you in the next video.